Hey, and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Profits, man. We're excited. You know, it always stinks when the fantasy season is over. That's why we're desperate to find some other way to play fantasy. And here it is, our fantasy playoff contest. While the regular fantasy season or the normal fantasy season might be done, as well as the Vikings Super Bowl hopes, it is now time for us to enjoy some playoffs. And hopefully we can redeem ourselves or keep our success going, whichever case you happen to be in. But that's what we're going to talk about in this video, how you can enter our free contest, win some prizes. In fact, the first place prize is going to get an FFP sweatshirt, and everybody else, the next 9, are going to get FFP t-shirts. Again, it's free to enter, and it should be lots of fun. You can track it live on our website, which we'll talk a little bit about later. But Rob, are you as excited as I am to beat up or lose to a bunch of our fans and people?
Yeah, I was feeling like I'm going through fantasy football withdrawal, but then I get excited for the contest, which I really look forward to because, like you said, my Vikings just broke my heart again. But I guess if you're a Vikings fan, you know that's what it means to be a Vikings fan. So, but yeah, I'm excited to get into this. Should we get right into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you've never done this fantasy challenge before, it's so important not just to know your fantasy players, but to know football in general. You need to be a prognosticator. You need to pick your games. And once again, you need to know football in general. Here's what we would encourage you to do before you put your lineup in. Don't just put the best players out there in terms of fantasy. We would encourage you to play out the roster, pick your winners, see who's going to the Super Bowl, and then from there you can determine how many games each player is going to be in, and from there you pick your lineups. And the reason why this is so important because once the playoffs start, there are no substitutions. If their team loses and they're done, that's it. You can't replace that player. If he gets injured, they're done. That's it. That's why it's so important. Once you put your lineup in, that is locked. Now, the common sense for most people, at least the wisdom would appear to be pick the best team. Go with, for example, number 1 seed like the New Orleans Saints, right? That would seem to be the wise choice. But here's some food for thought. If you're a guy that you got like a wild card team out there, you want to take some chances. Wild card team, if they make a deep run and make it to the Super Bowl, in theory, they're going to get one more game played than some of the players on the number 1 and number 2 seeds. And so there is incentive to go with the wild card teams that play next week, and there could pay off big if we want to take that chance there. And then the final thing, it is about picking fantasy players that are good fantasy football players. I have seen a player that maybe only had one playoff game. He played one game, but that one game he outscored another player that maybe was in 3 or 4. So there's a combination. Once again, you need to know your football and you need to know your fantasy football. I'm really excited. This is fun to do.
All right, so turning in a lineup, here's how you guys are going to do it. Really simple. You're just going to drop a comment down below of the players that you want to put in. Now, you have to enter a roster in of 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a kicker, and a defense. Now, we gave you a little example here on the side of the video next to us of what it should look like. Guys, this sounds really obvious, but spell the player names properly and try to put 1 player on each line. That makes it a lot easier for us to take your rosters over and to put it right into essentially what's going to be an Excel document that'll be on our website. Again, you can see there we have our example. We're really excited to play Joe Montana in this year's playoff challenge. It's going to be real great.
Got a strong feeling about him this year.
Yeah, but anyways, really, that's pretty simple how it is, but it saves us a lot of time, so we'd really appreciate it if you guys would do that. And there's you guys, as we talked about, you know, some of these strategies and other things.
All right. So last year we had a lot of questions about the scoring system. So there's a scoring right there. You can see the system that we are using is a full point PPR. If you have any other questions regarding scoring system, settings, things like that, rules, etc., please put a comment on the bottom. We'll answer that. But once again, that's the scoring system that we are going to use. It is a full point PPR. So once again, consider that when you put your lineup in.
All right, and of course, once you put your lineup in, there's nothing funner than sitting and anxiously watching your players not win. And so if you want to do that, you guys can go to our website at fantasyfootballprofits.com. Of course, we put a little image on the side here next to us so you guys can kind of see how it looks. You'll go to that, and then you'll select Playoff Challenge. And then once you're there, you'll see playoff contest rosters and results. You'll just click on check it out, and the Excel spreadsheet that we'll be running to update everything, all the rosters and players and all the points will be on there. That will be live, and so you can check that out at any point. Should be really fun to watch.
So a couple other quick things before we conclude this video. One, you have to be a subscriber to win. So once again, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and then you're automatically in. Once again, it's a free contest. The only thing we ask of you is that you're a subscriber. The other thing is that no matter where you live, you can win a free t-shirt, sweatshirt, etc. We gave out to a lot of prizes last year. But if you're from Canada, and I hate to say this, if you're out of the continental United States, you're going to have to pay the postage. Last year we got killed by one guy that won in Canada there. And once again, I'd love to give him the shirt, but I didn't realize how expensive it is. And if we have 10 winners and they're all from Canada or somewhere, that would cost us a lot of money, so you've got to be continental US. One lineup per person. And you can submit that lineup, like you said, Christian, on this video, or on Tuesday, we're going to submit another video. And in Tuesday's video, we're going to go break down the playoffs, okay? In that video, we're going to break down the games. We're going to pick our winners and submit our lineup so you know who we're putting out there, so you know how you can compete against us. And so, once again, put your lineup on this video or the one we're going to put out Tuesday. If you have any questions, once again, put it in the bottom. We'd love to answer them. I hope I didn't forget anything. Once again, we're excited to continue playing fantasy football. Look forward to hearing from you guys. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the FFP.